bears in Alaska and Russia.
I believe we're talking about man versus bear.
Man versus bear?
Man or bear?
That sounds like a porno, man versus bear.
No, it's a.
Do you guys not know that? That's going around on the internet right now?
No.
Yeah, I do. No, I know what you're talking about. Where like women would rather run into a bear.
Yeah.
Than a man.
Oh yeah, comment on that. I've read that.
Would you like to hear my reference point for that?
Sure.
Okay, so like I was thinking about it, and when I first heard that, I was like, "Wow, what are women talking about? Haven't they ever seen The Revenant?" Right?
Yes.
Where Leonardo DiCaprio is alone in the woods with a bear and it almost mauls him to death. Right?
Yeah.
And then leaves him for dead. And then he like fights to survive. And then later in the movie, his son is alone in the woods with a man and he murders him. And then Leonardo DiCaprio spends the rest of the movie hunting down that man, not bear.
Yeah.
Like, that's my like reference point for that, because the man who killed his son did far more damage than the bear that was just defending its bear cubs. Like, I don't know, like that's my reference point for it, is because like that, like the damage that man can do.
Well, and people like, sorry, but people are not going to make it quick.
No,
like,
that's how you transport it. Like,
yeah, like they're gonna make you suffer. And honestly, like if around here we're gonna run into a black bear, which is the size of a large dog.
Same here. I live in West Virginia. If you're gonna run into a bear here, it's gonna be a black bear.
I can handle that shit. I will hit it with my cane and we're done. Like, fuck you, bear, you're gone. Like, it'll run away. Like, they're not gonna hurt you.
No, and that's like I completely get the argument, because the bear is either gonna attack you, kill you, do whatever, or it's gonna leave you alone.
I don't trust
the bear is not gonna trade you into fucking sex slavery. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Could you?
Cocaine Bear.
The bear was like,
the Cocaine Bear sequel. It's called Sex Transportation Bear. Sex trafficking
Cocaine Bear. I never watched all of that. I remember checking out like mentally during it, and I was just like, I can't. This is crazy.
Cocaine Bear is good, but that's not what actually happened.
No, and they made it super gory, but like I think they did that, like the over goriness, to make it funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, any movie where children do cocaine,
it's a good movie.
I personally think there should be more movies where, I don't know, kids get all yacked up and do kid things. Like, I don't know, like
they snort like
ended up with
pixie sticks.
I mean, I'm just saying. Okay.
Let's talk about our childhood though, bro. Like, we were told say no to drugs and shit, but we had pixie sticks and fucking candy cigarettes.
Dude, okay, so I watched this thing one time. Fun fact about like that. Like, I went to this National Association of Teen Institutes thing when I was at a military academy, and there was this lady on stage, and she was talking about how it was a big conspiracy from all of these companies. And at the time, this was the late 90s, early 2000s. And she was talking about how on the back of cereal boxes, these companies were like doing small subliminal things to get kids hooked on drugs. And she was like, see how they put the cereal in a line? People do drugs in lines.
Not all drugs.
And I was like, oh, what? No, the good ones. But I was like, well, I think she's swinging and miss, because like, I'm pretty sure they're just trying to give kids a shitload of sugar.
Yeah.
And that's written on the box.
Yeah.
And then like, yeah, dude, if they're going to be like, hey kid, you want a line of sugar? Like, that's what they're doing. Like, that's not going to get a kid. No kid's going to be like, Ma, hey Ma, is there any Captain Crunch? And she's like, no. He's like, well, fuck, now I got to do heroin. Like
no kid's doing that.
No kid's going to do that. Like, oh, well, I wonder why. Like, you ever like sit and wonder? like, have you ever wondered? Like, if there's a kid out there who's like sitting in rehab and he's like, it all started with Frosted Flakes, man.
We ran out.
They tell you they're great, but they don't tell you the cost.
Didn't that motherfucker look like he sold crack?
Tony the Tiger?
Yeah.
No, Tony the Tiger looked like a gym coach. like a super shredded, hot, sexy gym coach.
Yeah, but your gym coach sold cocaine, dude.
Yeah, but I didn't know that till I was older.
Like
I thought he could just do a lot of push-ups.
when I hear gym teacher, though, I imagine like that female gym teacher that looks like Macho Man Randy Savage.
Dude, yeah, for real. Like, okay, you know how people say looks don't matter? I want to point this out real quick. Okay? I thought about this earlier today.
Yeah, you told me.
People are like, looks don't matter, and I'm like, that's not true. Because as a man, I will tell you, when we hear that like a 15-year-old boy had sex with one of his teachers, we wait. We wait because we're either like, oh, or we're like, eh. Because like if we see a picture of her and she's hot, we're like, all right, kid. All right, it's weird, but yeah, okay.
That's weird about
right?
society.
It's weird.
Right?
See, it's weird for me to admit this, but it's true. But if I see her picture and she looks like a trucker in a wig, I'm like, that kid, poor kid. That kid got molested. That poor kid.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's weird in society because if that was a dude.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, but if you see a guy, like, at no point in time are you like, oh yeah, this 36-year-old male teacher had sex with a 16-year-old student that's a female. At no point in time you're like, yeah, but dude, look how cute he is.
like John Stamos.
Come on, dude. Look how cute he is. You just look. It's like Ryan Reynolds, man. Yeah. But no, nobody does that. You're just like, yeah, fuck that guy. He's gross. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know. Just thoughts I have, weird thoughts I have. I should probably tell therapists, but here we are.
You should.
I had a female gym teacher, and she would put on goggles and then go under the water when we were having swim time, and just stay under the water and like watch. We're like, what are you doing? Like, she's looking at our asses and like, okay.
She was a crocodile.
She's
a crocodile.
No, assigator.
Yeah.
She's an assigator.
That is.
She was looking at them booties, wasn't she?
Well, why did we jump right into the child trauma?
Oh, I know. We immediately
right. Sorry, I don't know where that came from.
That's the difference. No, that's the difference. When and I don't mean to be sexist about it anyway. I hope you don't take it that way. But like when women talk about something and they express like something like that, like it can be very traumatic. And I'm not, if it was traumatic, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make light of that.
No, it's not traumatic. We all joked about it all the time.
But like that's what I'm saying. Like, we jump into making a joke about it like quickly because as guys, we've only been allowed to have one sexuality, or like we were weird.
Yeah.
So like growing up, if we sexually experimented with our friends, it was gay. We were gay. Like, you suck one dick, that's it.
Yeah,
you know
why
I mean?
is that? Why can't I just experiment?
Right, but meanwhile with girls, like, you were expected to experiment with each other, like in college and things like that. Like it's expected of girls, but like as for guys, like it's expected of us not to. Like, dude, that's not cool.
Where the
like,
fuck are you going?
No, where am I going with this?
And I don't know where we were going with this, but like, and I'm high, so.
We all
I took like a huge toke when you guys were first talking, and I'm like, oh no, my brain is mush. Sexuality, is that what you're talking about? Oh yes, yes. So
yeah, like, if a woman does gay shit, like
they assume that you're effeminate the second you suck a dick.
Dude, for real, like, you can't be a dude, and it's like you can't be a dude and like, oh yeah, when I was a teenager and I was hanging out with a buddy and like we did stuff, and people were like, oh dude, that's gay. And it's like, no. Okay, like the act of it, maybe, you know what I mean? But like, does that make a person gay? And if that's true, how many dicks do I have to suck before I'm not white anymore?
Yeah, but nowadays we have
they're going
awareness of different sexualities. Like, or different identities. I don't know how to put it, but like if you're pansexual, right, where you're more attracted to someone's personality instead of their body.
I'm that.
And it's like, that's me. Yeah, like
you ain't gay. You just
I'm pansexual. I like Peter Pan.
You like Peter Pan?
I like, dude. No, I'm not. No, I'm like that. I very much I view a person's personality and sense of humor and all of that depths of character, soul, all of that is far more important to me than literally anything else.
He's been trying to have sex since he got here.
Trying.
I'm gonna succeed.
I haven't tried to have sex since I was 15, bro.
But
do or do not.
That's because your uncle took it.
Do or do not. Listen, I'm from West Virginia. I'm from the part of West Virginia where, like, yeah, we bang our cousins, but like our hot cousins.
Oh, at least they're hot.
Like it's one of those things. Like you're gonna lose your virginity to your cousin in West Virginia, but it's like, is it your hot cousin? Because like,
look at the moment he does fuck his cousin. Like you could.
Dude, that's not now.
Used to.
Yeah.
You quit. It's not a cousin.
Oh, like my mom. Okay, I'm from a small town.
Whoa, what?
Just wait. My mom does genealogy or whatever it's called, where it's like about your ancestry. And she's like, oh, you and your boyfriend are related because of this person. And I'm like, why would you do that? Why? Like,
So
what?
Are you related to your boyfriend?
I was like his sixth cousin.
Yeah, you're definitely American.
Dude, I found out my parents were like fourth cousins.
Fourth cousin.
Yeah.
The thing is, after 3, are you even related?
No, not really. That's the thing. Like that's like my grandma. Like my grandma loved to do that. Like I would go see my grandma, and like as she got older, like every once in a while, she would just tell me some crazy piece of family history that I didn't fucking know. Like I went over to my grandma's one day, and she's like, "You know, your uncle's not actually my blood son, right?" And I'm like, "No, grandma, I didn't fucking know that." Please explain. And then, like, dude, like 2 or 3 weeks before she passes away, she's like, "Yeah, did you know that your grandma on the other side and her sister are not actually from your great grandfather? They're actually from the neighbor guy." And I'm like, God damn it, why are you leaving me with this? Like, what is it with West Virginia families? Like, we leave trailers, alcoholism, and fucking mental illness behind.
What would you have done if, like,
Oh,
right before she
geez.
died, she's like, fuck you, you're adopted?
That would have been par for the course if she would have been like, dude, yeah, your dad's not your dad. Your dad's actually someone. No, like, my dad's definitely my dad. But, like, yeah, it would have been par for the course because my grandma did. She was not a gossip. Like, she wouldn't gossip about people, but like every once in a while, to me, she would just pass down some like piece of family information.
Your whole family's from West Virginia, right?
Well, no, not really. One generation removed. My grandfather on my dad's side was from like Kentucky, which is worse, yeah. But luckily my grandma, like my grandma that I'm talking about now, she was from Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, so
she was like, and then on her birth certificate it said legitimate. Like, so she was super old. Like, that's like, that meant 2 things. I mean, 1, she was really old because on her birth certificate it said legitimate. And 2, it meant my grandma was legitimate and from like Detroit.
So she's from Detroit. So
yeah.
you had one side of the family that was racist, and then you had the other side of the family that
they could build cars.
They could build cars.
Yeah, that's how that went.
Okay.
No, actually, that's not true. That's not true. If I could fix that situation, no, I had one side of my family that could fix cars and were racist, and then another side of my family that was racist. Anyway, go ahead.
Was it like horrible racism?
No, God, no.
Like,
no.
They didn't realize they was.
No.
My dad, I love my dad.
Honestly, if I'm being real, like on my dad's side of the family, like there is no racism. Like my dad and like my dad's side of the family, like they love everybody. Like, they're cool. Like, on my mom's side of the family, they don't talk about it.
Well, it's weird because like, my dad, I love him because he ain't racist or nothing, but like he'll say things that like could border like racism, and you don't realize.
If you heard a stranger say it, you would probably be like, "It's pretty racist."
Yeah.
When you hear your dad say it, you're like, "Don't do that. Don't do that."
You're like, "Ah, shucks."
Hey,
typical dad.
Next time we're in Target, they're just people, man. They're just people, dude.
Oh man.
He's more of the when he meets a black guy, he'll be like, "Oh, I know a guy."
Oh yeah, I worked with a guy. Like no, like there are layers. There's like I work with a black guy, and then there's like you see a black guy buying rice at the store, and you're like, I didn't know you people ate that. Like, oh, don't do that. That's where you cross the line. Like I wanted to write a comedy skit about like where like where it's okay to have check them comments about where it's okay for like to be stereotypical and where it borders into racism. Like, is it stereotypical to say that black people run fast? Yes. Is it racist? No. Is it racist to say that they do it from the cops? Yes. That's where the line borders. That's where it's like, okay, you know.
Yeah.
It's weird, since we're talking comedy, it's weird when people... Oh, hi, Michelle Hollingstead. Thank you so much for swinging by. We're just talking about random shit. That's how we do on the Pink Sock. We tackle those topics that most people won't. That's why we're called Pink Sock. But with comedy, it's weird because comedy is the only art form where people get upset over a person for something they said, but on behalf of somebody else. Like not somebody that they're not upset about what you said, but they're like, oh, somebody else could be. So I don't like what you said.
Right. No, it's like no. Could you imagine if like a Muslim went to a like this is gonna be good.
We're gonna get cut off.
Can you imagine?
Don't do that. They bomb people.
I won't. I'm not gonna do that. No, dude. No. But can you imagine if a Muslim person went to like an art gallery and saw a painting of like I don't know, like Jesus fucking Christ, like of Jesus fucking Christ, okay. Like a painting of it,
legit,
like a painting of Jesus sodomizing himself, right? Jesus, right? Okay, and then he gets really mad about it because he's like, you know, Christians would be really upset by this.
That'd never happen.
No, that would never happen because it's fucking stupid. No, because that's a stupid fucking thing for him to do, to get offended by that on behalf of other people. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like I was telling my friend here the other day.
White people shit.
No, like I was telling him the other day. I'm saying it.
Oh god. Oh fuck.
I was downtown Pittsburgh the other day and I watched two hobos beat up a midget. All right, I'm sorry. Homeless people. And I was like, I decided that like unless a little person actually comes on and is like that offends me, then I'm not gonna stop because the secondhand offensive shit has got to stop. That's what happened to the Washington Redskins. It's what happened to the Cleveland Indians, who both have legitimate. It's what happened to Aunt Jemima, who deserved she deserved that position. It's not.
Yeah, she used to be a slave.
That's right. But they're not making fun. Like that was never the intention of making Aunt Jemima like, oh, she's a syrup bottle. We're making fun of her. No. That was like her legacy was like doing that. Like I don't know. You're taking people's shit away. Same with like the Native American that was and like I agree, Redskins is a bit aggressive.
Yeah,
like that's an aggressive name.
What about Land of the Lakes? They took the fucking
they took the Native American, but like then they left the field there. Right? Yeah, I love that. But I mean, if I could be fair, that's Minnesota. Nobody wanted it anyway.
But yeah, it's just wild to me that the comedy people getting offended, man. Like, especially if you're in a comedy club.
Dude, especially in a comedy club. But I also think that there are rules about it, like that also apply. And like this is for comedians, aspiring comedians, for you, for everybody. There is no such thing as bombing in comedy. If you're at a bar or anything other than a dedicated comedy club, if you are at a dedicated comedy club, even if it's an open mic, if the people came there to see people and they were like, I'm gonna laugh, and then they don't laugh at you. If you want to consider that, like, I need to work on my shit. That was my best stuff. Nobody laughed at it. That can be, you know, if you want to consider that a bomb in yourself so that you work harder, don't give up, you know. But then if you like push you to work harder because you're like, oh, fuck it, I bombed. Don't go out in front of 12 people at a bar that are watching a fucking hockey game and tell jokes and they don't even pay attention to you, let alone laugh at you. And then be like, do a bomb tonight. No, you didn't. You did great. Yeah, you did great. You got up in front of and talked to people, and you can only command people's attention so much if they're dedicated to not like I said, if you go to Pittsburgh,
they're there for another reason.
Yeah, exactly. They're there for another reason. If you go to a bar in Pittsburgh and they're watching a Penguins hockey game, and you're like, "You guys want to hear about my asshole?" And they don't care how funny what you're saying is. Like honestly, I've seen great comedians get up and they don't pay attention. So it makes you feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you go up, like the rough crowd we had at the waterfront last time.
Yeah.
Like
Great comedians.
some of them came to see comedy. Most of them did not. They were just there. You know how packed the other room was.
Yeah.
Like
it was loud too. And here's the thing. Another thing that I feel weird about. Hey, Linda. How you doing, darling? And hi, Vicky. I think that you're jumping in. By the way, if you want, I know it's a bit of a drive for you, but you should come to the Blair. I'm doing comedy in Blair, Ohio.
Yeah, I know where it's at.
At the Hidden Hills Event Center. It is hidden. But what I don't like is I don't mind calling people what they prefer to be called if I find out after I offended them. However, we need to find a new word than little people because I lost my virginity to one. And it's
you
weird.
Couldn't even say it.
And it's weird as fuck.
Say it. Say I lost my virginity to a little person.
I can't.
No, say it.
That makes me sound like a chomo.
See what I'm saying?
Like,
see what I'm saying? Like that's a hard thing. Like I didn't lose my virginity to a little person. I lost mine to my hot cousin.
I was 19 too.
But,
like that's,
okay, like I don't like I have no problem with you because I'm sure she was a consenting adult, and that's up here, bro, right? But it's a weird thing to high five on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that. But anyway,
I did it too.
No, right? You were all in for it. But no, but I don't know anybody personally who is a little person.
I do.
Okay, I know you. Obviously.
Not friends, but
I mean, at least friendly.
Yeah. Well, it was my virginity, so it was short lived. It didn't last very long.
Don't use that word.
I haven't heard from her since. So I tried to call her, she never answered. So she's half the person I am.
She's a little busy.
She's a little busy, but like I want to know what to call them that is more acceptable because little person could be like
they definitely don't like dwarf. I think dwarf is way more.
It's
like
more aggressive.
Some of I guess I don't want to say some of them because that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Some little people. I'm sorry. I'm going to call them little people, right? Because I only call them midgets for a joke.
Yeah.
Right. But if they want to call me like a honky or whatever they want, like they can call me like whatever they want.
Yeah.
Like anybody can call me whatever they want.
I mean, you looking like that, you like asking for it,
dude. I look like. No, listen, I'm aware. Like I own a mirror. I look like I organized a trip to the Capitol on the 6th. I look like a pastor who organized a trip on the 6th because Jesus dropped the ball.
You look like you're on a list.
He's got holes in his hands.
It's okay because I look like I helped lead the Confederacy. Like it's awful. Like,
I mean, if you put on the hat,
I'm not.
You're gonna have to lead. You know, like if you put on an old hat, I don't know.
I don't look too good. That's not. Linda, thank you. Linda is going to be at the comedy show. I think she's been to damn near all of them we did.
Fucking A, right.
I think so. I think she was at the last one.
Hope I don't ruin everything.
Me and you, though, we need to add you to some of the bills because you're fucking hilarious, dude.
Thank you. I want to do more work. I don't even really.
Why don't we get together and do like a small tour, open mic nights, or like create one? You have the Morgantown Art Bar.
Well, honestly, if we could, I had this idea, and I have a guy. I know a guy.
We all have.
I know a guy.
You look like a guy that knows a guy.
I know a guy. No, so I want to do like a Velvet Room, like variety show for like talented people. Like, and I got a guy. There's a guy in Pittsburgh named Johnny Trafficani. Shout out Johnny Trafficani. He's fucking hilarious. He does Johnny on the Rocks shows. That's where I got the idea. I ate some mushrooms and I went to one of the Johnny on the Rocks shows. And I'm like, dude, we need fucking red velvet on everything. And then we need to do like, because he does like Sinatra stuff. Like he does like actual Sinatra songs and shit and comedy. And I'm like, so what we need to do is we need to have like comedians and other talented people who are like good singers. If you're a comedian and you can sing, like if you're a comedian, you can't fucking sing, but you want to do like something funny, like a spoken word version of something, just like be goofy, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, and just give them like a minute or two and almost make it like, imagine.
Maybe one more time.
Well, yeah.
You should do a spoken one of that.
Like imagine if Kill Tony were done in the 70s. Yeah, it would almost be like cigarettes. It would almost be like the Gong Show. You know what I mean? But like more comedy driven. You know what I mean? And Johnny would 100% be on my host. Like that's the dude I want hosting because he's so perfect, dude. He looks the part. Like he's such a nice guy. He's so talented, so funny. And like he's even said it himself. He looks like he's 26 years old, I think 27. He looks like he owns several Olive Gardens. Like that's his joke, and he fucking nails it. Like he tells people, he's like, I look like I don't know that you can't freeze shellfish, and then serve it to people. Like, dude, he's so funny.
Dude, like there's a lot of good comics out there, but it's hard. Like what people don't realize is if you try to cancel a comedian, you're just helping their career.
It depends. I mean,
like if you're going
like that's what I'm saying. Like we talked about earlier, there's two different ways to get canceled. I don't know about in Canada. There might be like 3 or 4 metric ways, but in America, there's just one standard mile, of way to get like fucking uber canceled, where you just like you're sexually gross, whatever, you're a pervert, whatever you do, crazy, gross, violent things, all that stuff like that. Like you fucking canceled.
Like Jimmy Savile,
right? Yeah, I don't even know who that guy is. He's so canceled.
Oh, Jimmy Savile.
No, don't explain it. So like, there's like ways to get like super canceled, And then there's like Shane Gillis, where like he pissed off. I'm sorry, white people. We pissed off white people, right?
That's how you get started.
And and then they canceled him, so he wasn't allowed to go on Saturday Night Live. Like he was going to be on the cast of Saturday Night Live because he's great with skits. And then they like insisted. Because he said some insensitive things about Asians or in an Asian accent or I don't know, something like that. It was just an Asian accent, which we can all agree is only racist because it's hilarious. I could do any other accent on the planet except for anybody on the Asian continent, and you'd be fine with it. Everybody would be fine with it.
Australians love an Australian.
Yeah.
You're right. They do, especially if you can do it right. It's subtle. It's got to be the subtleties.
You sound like that dude, the Ozman, who does the reviews.
Oh, dude, I love Aussie Man reviews. Yeah, hello, you big, beautiful, bloody bastards. Here's me face. Yeah. Oh, no, dude. I rock a fucking Australian accent.
That's fucking hilarious. Michelle, I hope you can make it, dear.
So and then there's, like I said, then there's a second way of getting canceled, like Shane Gillis, where he said stuff, it pissed off people, but he didn't really do anything. He didn't really, like, depthfully hurt, like, the Asian community didn't backlash. Like, there wasn't, and then look at it, it's like a year later, he hosts Saturday Night Live, and his career's on, like, a huge upswing. And it's like, okay, so like people try to cancel people for like the wrong reasons, and then that's kind of what happens.
You know what's awesome, dude? Norm was kicked off SNL because they said he wasn't funny anymore. So they brought him back like 10 years later to host. And he came out on stage like, so I got fired from here because I'm not funny. Now, unfortunately, I'm still not funny, just the writing sucks.
That's the beauty of Norm Macdonald. All he had to do was just talk.
Yeah. And I don't think he wrote anything ever.
No, it's his tone, like the way he carried himself.
Because I don't think Norm performed in a way where he didn't really write. He just he came out. His last show ever was right when COVID was hitting.
Yeah.
And his manager told him no COVID jokes. And he came out as like, so I was told not doing COVID jokes, but on my drive here, I couldn't taste my coffee and I had this weird cough. He like opened with, hey, I might have COVID.
I mean, Norm Macdonald's going to find, again, if you give, Norm Macdonald has that in common with Jeffrey Ross, who's like the roast master, because if you give them a list, and this is a human trait, I don't know where we get it, all right? If you give them a list, that's the list of jokes they're going to tell in order. Yeah. And I know that because I have a friend, and he joined the Army when he was 18 years old. And when he joined the Army, they sent him to basic training. And the place they sent him to basic training, Camp Pendleton or something like that, I can't remember exactly what it was. They gave everybody there a list of bars to not fucking go to.
Uh-huh.
Don't go to these bars. You're going to end up in trouble. You're going to have a fight. You get a shot, whatever. Don't go to these bars. They use that list as the list of bars to go to. And my friend got stabbed in the nipple, right?
Oh, no.
Got stabbed in the nipple by a midget dressed like a cowboy.
No, I'm sorry, but
I know it ties back in, but he got stabbed by a midget who was dressed like a cowboy because he got super drunk and started telling the dude that, I'm sorry, it's true. Started fucking telling the dude that he looked like Yosemite Sam.
Oh
no.
Right? So he tells this fucking, I don't think he was a midget. I just think the fellow was Mexican. I'm not trying to be mean. It's just Mexican men tend to be shorter than American men on the whole. I've seen tall Mexican men. I know it's not all of Mexican people, However, this fellow was like 4 foot tall, around 4 foot tall, and he had a great big mustache, and he was dressed in a cowboy hat, and he all right. He looked like he was cosplaying.
That sounds adorable.
He looked like he was, and my friend kept picking on him about it, so he hopped up on the pool table, which
I can't even hear you tell this fucked up, crazy story without laughing.
So he hops up on the pool table, pulls out a switchblade knife, and my friend the whole time is like laughing his ass off because it's whimsical up until he gets, and the dude just stabs him and like goes to stab him he was trying to kill him and stabbed him in the nipple, and he's got a scar like right above his nipple where the dude like stabbed. And I was like, so what happened? He's like, oh, I went back a couple nights later, and I kicked the shit out of him, and I was like, oh, I don't know. I end the story with getting stabbed because
that's not cool. But
but isn't it though?
But no, what's cool is he's like somewhere like in a gym or whatever, and he goes into the shower, and somebody's like, "How'd you get that scar?" Well,
I was stabbed by Yosemite Sam.
Yeah.
Damn.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. So, Pink.
Yes.
How's your life been? We're 30 minutes in, and we already talked about getting stabbed in the nipple by a guy who looks like the Yosemite Sam. Only with Jack in the room can you hear that kind of shit.
It was my friend Ryan. Shout out, Ryan.
We all have a friend, Ryan. You got stabbed in the nipple by a midget in a couple
Hi,
of
Ryan.
Are you sure it's not a child with a mustache?
He was in a bar.
What year was this?
I mean, I don't.
Because when I was
say like 20.
Oh yeah, it was probably a kid.
Like 2008.
Because kids are like, I'm not trying to say it's okay, but like back in the day, kids would just end up in.
This
bars.
was not a child. This man was a fucking whiz with tile and a fucking Shogun with fucking spackle.
Okay, Yosemite Sam, if you're watching this,
this dude definitely drove an F-250, a nice one that he was very difficult to get into.
Stop! I just imagine him falling out of that thing, stumbling around,
hopping out.
Yeah, hopping out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't, like, I understand the word is offensive, but what else would I call them? Because I can't say little, because that's that could be a child.
And honestly, I feel like if I were a little person,
that's offensive.
That I would rather have somebody call me a midget just because then I could use it in without feeling bad.
They call it midget wrestling still.
They do. They call it midget wrestling because the midgets that wrestle have no fucking shame.
Yeah, they don't care.
No, they don't give a shit.
I've never met one midget upset by the word midget. Now, they might be some of them out there.
I mean, Peter Dinklage, I don't think he likes it.
You know?
I mean, I don't know. He didn't like because he didn't like dwarf. Because whenever they wanted to do, and I'm talking out the side of my fucking neck here, but whenever they wanted to do Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs live action,
yeah, dwarf.
He was like, oh, of course they're gonna ask me, you know what I mean, and all that shit. And he's like, of course they're gonna cast, these guys that are in Hollywood. And I was like, all right, two things. Okay. Number one, you're losing work for other little people, actors right now by just calling that shit out. Like, just let them. And secondly, if they make this movie and they don't cast that motherfucker as Grumpy, I'm out.
So I got a question though. Would casting somebody who isn't, what's up? Somebody's name in the chat's Mike's baby daddy. Might be me. I don't know.
Oh man. Ooh.
It's okay. I don't mind. Anyway, the thing is though, in Hollywood, okay, if you are to cast people, right, and this is just me talking on my ass, if you were to cast somebody who isn't, I'll say little person, isn't a little person, right?
Spawn.
As a little person.
In Spawn.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be the same thing as blackface in a movie?
Okay, so what you're saying, and my question would be, John Leguizamo played the character of the clown in Spawn on his knees.
Yeah.
That would have definitely been a job for a little person.
Yeah.
But they just put John. So is John Leguizamo being on his knees the equivalent of blackface?
Yeah.
So John Leguizamo did. Okay.
So every woman that ever gave you head blackface.
Even more. No, even more. Have you ever seen Tu Wong Fu?
No.
Okay, so Tu Wong Fu is a great fucking movie. First off, let's just get that out of the way. I love the fucking movie. It's amazing. Have you ever seen Tu Wong Fu, Pink?
No.
Okay, you should. It's a wonderful movie. It's got Wesley Snipes, John Leguizamo, and Patrick Swayze, and they all play drag queens.
Oh wow!
They play amazing, perfect drag queens. It is an awesome movie all the way through. But again, that begs the question: is that blackface? Like they're not like Patrick Swayze was not a real drag queen.
No,
he was not really a gay man, because that's in the movie they describe a drag queen as a gay man with too much style.
Yeah,
that he has to wear women's clothing because that way they can fulfill how much flair and style they have, because male clothing just doesn't fucking do it.
Yeah.
So okay, that's cool. So then again, like I said, does that?
Dude, I love drag shows.
No, and then again, this movie is amazing.
Yeah,
At the end, when you see John Leguizamo at the end, because like there's a theme throughout the movie where like at one point to cut into his spirit, Patrick Swayze, who's a very accomplished drag queen, tells John Leguizamo's character, "You're just a boy in a dress."
Oh,
yeah, right. And if you're gonna like cut a drag queen from another, like that's a cut. And then at the end of the movie, like John Leguizamo comes out as the most gorgeous drag queen I have ever seen in my entire, like, I'm doing it, no questions asked. Like, I'm gonna be like, I did John Leguizamo, sure did.
I mean, hot man,
dude, and beautiful woman, like for like whatever, like you see, dude, this is where I wish we had that Joe Rogan shit where I'm like, bring up the end of Tu Wong Fu real quick. I mean, we got the second screen. We got the second screen up top,
bro. We can actually bring up the screen on the,
and I can put it on the top screen.
Dude, that'd be fun.
Because like that's.
Oh, by the way, you can't see what we're talking about, but this guy, he is there if I say it? He's autistic.
Oh, dude, super.
He's super autistic.
Oh, dude, they can tell. They know.
Yeah, they can tell by your
anybody
face.
Watching, they know.
But he has a full-blown driving simulator in his room. Like,
nice.
Like, yeah, it's wild.
I've just got steering wheels. Like, if you see the steering wheel that's back here behind me, and I have like a wall that has like steering wheels, and it's not because it's only because any type of driving, like I did while Mike was here, I did some drifting, I did some road racing, and I did some rally driving, and I used all different kinds of wheels to do each thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the autism came in, me explaining that the way I just did. Yeah, so you didn't have to tell them I was autistic. They just had to wait.
Which part of the spectrum are you on? Like, you're not like way out
green,
there. Huh?
Green. Because maybe like a green blue.
There's people out there, and we talked about this before we went live, not to pink, but like there's gatekeepers of autism, and I found that out recently.
Yeah.
Like I'm on the spectrum, and they're like, you're not autistic. I'm like,
no, but that's the point of a spectrum. That's like, dude, that's literally the point of a spectrum. That's like saying that like, oh man, like violet is not a color, dude. It's a spectrum of colors. It's in the rainbow.
Just because I don't have fucking like Asperger's don't mean I.
Well, no, that's the thing, dude. I like there's again, it's a spectrum. I have literally like I used to work like here's the spectrum of autism. I used to work with people who had special needs at a company called REM. Okay, and I worked with people who were severely autistic, and like I'm also autistic, and I would drive them around.
Yeah.
So like that's the spectrum of autism. Was like one dude could drive a Ford Taurus, the other guy could sit in the back and ask for McDonald's. Like that's the spectrum that you have when you deal with autism. So for somebody to be like, you're not autistic, like, dude, I don't know. I'm of the belief that everybody is autistic. Okay. In some fashion or form.
Mm-hmm.
All the dyes in their food.
Everybody has autism. And like, I want to believe that because like people who claim to not be autistic, like, they're fucking, I don't know, dude. Like, I love them. Like, I love everybody, but like, I love people who aren't autistic. Like you like an NPC. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I have severe ADHD.
That's a form of autism.
That's for sure. That's
yeah.
And that's the thing is I made an autism joke, and like nobody I knew got like didn't hate me for telling the joke, but a couple people got kind of offended by me saying the joke. I'm like, listen, like I'm on the spectrum for one, and for two, it got a fucking pop. People loved it. Like, and the person even admitted to me, they're like, it's not your fault. It's just how I felt, that's how you react to it. If you're upset by something a comedian says, you tell them, hey, it's not my fault it's not your fault that I'm upset. That's just how I took it. But it's just weird. Like, you have obesity. that person's a troll. They said they're a gatekeeper and they have obesity.
Oh, troll. Oh, Mike's baby daddy's a troll.
I do believe so.
Go fucking figure.
Yeah, but it's fine.
Go
I like trolls.
fucking
Hey,
figure.
troll, you got any riddles?
You got any riddles?
Any riddles for me?
We're gonna
troll?
pay the troll toll.
Got to pay the troll toll to get into this boy's hole.
That's actually, it's been a while
Yeah.
since I be like that in the chat. Last time I had one in the chat, it was some woman talking about showing off her butthole, and I'm like,
oh, dude, I love seeing like random starfish.
me too, but she never joined the chat.
Of course not.
Like not like here seeing us.
No, but I don't know. I love trolls because like I don't have anything to do but sit around and think of ways to.
I
Like,
think he's about to get racist. What's brown and sticky? Or there? I'm sorry, I kind of get.
yeah, don't assume the gender of the troll, because like they probably don't have one.
A stick. Oh, phew, God. I think that they know who I am because their screensaver is a hot dog. Now, are you familiar with the hot dog incident? I got fired from a job because a picture of me got to corporate of it's me in uniform in the kitchen with 8 hot dogs at once in my mouth.
Okay.
But I got rehired to the same corporation and a year later when I moved to a different state. But when I got hired, they called me and like, so you can't start till Thursday, and it was Tuesday at the time. And I'm like, oh, I wonder why. And then they took me to the office Thursday. And like, well, HR sent us the photo.
With
They had it for a year and a half, bro.
What they do? Where'd they put it?
I don't know.
Man. Okay.
It's framed up
I
in someone's office.
am going to
All
start.
right.
I actually-
have great feet. Yeah.
I'm actually very confident in my body and shit. So like, I do OnlyFans. It's just
I would be too. You're great naked, dude.
thanks.
A little furry, but it's all right.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. I've been working out. Oh, but I actually don't have it on this phone. I'll have to send it to you on Facebook because I used that photo as my profile picture on Tinder.
Yeah, that's great. That's how you can tell when somebody's a drug dealer. They're like, I don't have it on this phone.
Yeah.
You ever hear somebody's phone ring and it's the Facebook calling thing,
Yeah.
and you're like, what broke motherfucker is calling me right now?
Yeah, you know
That's the first thought that goes through my mind. Is like, what broke ass?
I have a lot of friends that have like multiple phones. I'm not saying they're all drug dealers, but it's funny watching them answer their phone because the phone will ring and they'll be like, "Not this phone." I'm like, they're trying to figure out which phone is ringing.
I did that because I have a phone. I totally do that because I have a phone that has my Facebook on it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to log back into my Facebook, so I keep that broke ass phone because it's already.
I have 3 phones.
Well, you know what I plan on
That's
doing?
pretty cool.
Well, what I plan on doing is getting one of the old phones or getting like a newer phone that's good camera and use one for my live streams and shit, and the other one for like when I'm out in the wild and shit. I'm enjoying myself and don't want to be on social media, but I still want to be able to take pictures and shit.
Well, and get a GoPro.
A GoPro,
Yeah, because if you get a GoPro, then you can just record on an SD card, and then that way we could, like, if we wanted to do a walking podcast kind of deal, like I talked about it, we do like a walking podcast. Dude, you know what we could do? We go to festivals, like music festivals, and just walk around and talk, like just walk around the campground and talk.
What I want to do with this eventually is keep doing the live streams we're doing, but also throw in some aspects of like pre-recorded shit, like skits and shit. Just throw it on the podcast and then throw on the interview and then do like a live hangout afterwards.
Did I tell you about the Florida Man skit I want to do?
No, but save it for after so that we don't spoil.
No. We could still do it. It's still going to be funny. I could tell them about it. Like, that doesn't matter.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to start a line of skits where we do like a Florida Man thing, right? And I want to have a dude in like pit viper glasses, hair like mine, maybe a little spikier, right? And he's just on a fucking airboat, ripping through the Florida Everglades, just fucking hauling ass. We'll pick a song for it.
I just died in your arms.
No, it's going to be more like highway to the danger zone. Like, that's why I said we'll pick a song.
I doubt we can get the rights to it, but I am a real American.
I mean, that would be pretty good.
Down.
Okay, now that'll work. That'll work if we can get it, right? Because here's the deal. I want him ripping through the Everglades, right? I want him to hit a log, okay? He flies off head first, right? It's shallow water, but grass, right? The Everglades, he just hits Like he doesn't even put his arms out. He just like no sells it, goes straight, like hits the ground and just slides the fuck out, right? Slides to a stop. He gets up. Glasses are off, right? Right? All of a sudden he just gets surrounded by alligators. He looks at one alligator, no glasses. He turns to look at the second alligator. The clip where he turns, his glasses are back on. All right? Like we're not even we're doing bad editing on purpose.
So you're
all right? Because it's the most Florida shit ever. You're not even gonna see him put his glasses back on. They're just back on. They look fine, right? He reaches behind him, and you think he's gonna pull out like a gun or a knife. Pulls out a meth pipe.
That is Florida man.
Right? Pulls out a lighter. And just starts kicking the shit out of these alligators, like hitting one alligator with the other alligators, like taking him in a circle and beating the shit out of like all these out. And like one alligator tries to like run away, and he's like, no, and he grabs it and he just like picks it up and throws it into the fucking trees, right,
bro?
And then it cuts out, and cuts back in, and he's just wearing fucking like alligator skin pants and alligator belt, alligator shoes, and he's just fucking walking with his pit vipers on.
So
Florida man is fuck, dude. It's like Popeye with spinach, except it's meth.
Dude, we should do a whole TV series.
That's what I'm saying. Florida man.
Like, what's a very Florida name?
Keith.
Keith the meth man. Keith the meth man.
Keith Lauderdale.
He's got to be the Florida version of Popeye. All right, that's what we're going for here because.
So just Keith the Florida man.
Yeah, Florida man Keith.
Florida man Keith.
FMK.
So Mike's baby daddy, which I don't have a baby daddy. You're my baby. You two make a cute couple. I support.
Oh, word, cool, kinky. I like kinks. I'm a kinky dude. I like to get rented bowling shoes and sniff them while I jerk off into Frosted Flakes because they're great.
I like how you turned that back around. You were talking about Frosted Flakes earlier.
Yeah, see, it's a callback, baby.
What is the weirdest kink you've ever heard?
The weirdest kink I've ever heard, nugget porn.
Oh, I know what nugget porn is.
That's definitely the weirdest kink. Because, like, the dude who did it, like, let's be fair, the guy who had sex with the woman, probably that wasn't his kink. And he was probably just, you know what I mean? He was the guy that was there. Somebody paid him, and, like, he did the deed, right? The person who looks that up, that's what I'm fascinated with. Like, what in your brain is like...
Pleasure to meet you. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
just
like,
kidding.
no, what in your brain... I don't know. Would want to watch. I don't know. You keep like, you know, you can't say that you had sex with a little person. I can't continue with like saying like, I can't believe people like to watch quadruple amputees get fucked. See, that's hard for me.
I don't know.
That was hard to get through.
I don't know if the woman that I was with, it was a hookup. I don't know if she was like legally, but she was the right height.
I love you like legally.
Like I don't know if she was legally.
Yeah, see, you can't do either one. I love it. Because for the life of me, he's not going to say little person, and I get it. All right? But you don't want to say...
I'm not using legal and little in the same
No, but
sentence,
you don't want to say midget, because, like, I also get that. But, like, I mean...
What do I say? Just not bring it up? Pretend like they don't exist?
I mean, is there, like, a scientific term?
Yeah, midget.
Yeah.
It's in the Bible.
Dude, if that's the fucking... I mean, like, Lollipopus Gildus?
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's...
You're trying to get us canceled. That's fine.
That's the funny kind. I'm trying to get us the funny... You know how popular we're going to be when fucking Peter Dinklage is like, these guys are hilarious. I don't know what everybody's fucking tripping about.
Peter Dinklage put on Twitter, this was fucking hilarious.
Actually, Brad would be the one I would be the most concerned. Like, if I were to piss off Brad, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I were to upset Brad, I'd be like, all right, dude, my bad. I'll back off on it. Like,
yeah, but Brad loves the word midget.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't see Brad seeming like being like, no, that's across the line. You shouldn't be like, because again, it's not coming from a hateful place.
No.
I'm not like, you ever been headbutted in the balls by a fucking midget? Like, that's
no, that's a sound clip that we can use. But no, the thing is with comedy is it's great. Like, you can tackle any topic, but don't do it in a hateful way. Peter Dinklage did a tweet a while ago. and he's like, I see what you're doing, Game of Thrones. And it was a Game of Thrones calendar. And they had Peter Dinklage on February.
Oh, for sure.
the shortest month.
For sure. What other, yeah, dude. Yeah. That's first off, clever. That's clever. Secondly, it's almost as clever as the United States government. Because you know what Black History Month is, right?
The shortest month. Yeah.
You know, that's kind of, okay, that's America for you, though. Sharks get a week.
Yeah.
A whole fucking week. They eat people,
What
dude.
is that?
Shark
Like,
Oh,
why
because
is there Shark Week? I don't get it.
Autistic people love sharks.
And yeah, and like 90% of America is more than likely autistic.
Yeah, no, and a lot of Australia, like, okay. Australia is even more autistic than America, and I have a theory on that. All right, here's my theory. I'm totally just talking out the side of my neck against what a podcast is. If you didn't fucking come here for medical advice, so just fucking, all right. I believe that because Australia was a penal colony, that a lot of or some of the people that they sent from England to Australia were just like super autistic people that they didn't understand. And they were just like, don't kill them. Just put them on the boat.
I have a shark tattoo.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is like autistic people love sharks. And then like Australian people are the only people who will like defend a shark that bit them. They'll be like, nah, he's all right. I was out there looking like food. It's on me. Fuck it. He's a good guy.
You sound like that fucking Steve Irwin.
All right, come here. Let me show you something. That right there is going to fucking taste terrible. Don't fucking eat it. That over there, beautiful. Like, nah, dude, like that's why Australian people are the best.
By the way, my former co-host, and I still do podcasts with him, and he will appear with me and you one of these days. He is an Australian.
That's perfect. I used to, when I drift, because like, all right, I'm going to say this. I don't fuck with Americans. All right. They suck. They think they're great at everything. And they fucking suck. All right. And I say that from a place of being an American because I used to suck. But guess what I did when I sucked? I thought I was fucking great. All right,
bro.
I thought I was so good at shit. And then like I started doing stuff with people from other countries, and I was like, dude, that's because I'm an American. That I'm like, I'm fucking no. So I have a driving simulator, and I drove with Americans, and like they're just annoying. It's annoying. They're not good drivers, whatever. And then I drove with guys from Australia, and it was like so much better. The conversation was great. I love listening to them talk, like just conversational Australian accent. Like, yeah. Okay. They say cunt a lot, you know what I mean? But they don't ever say it at any, you know what I mean? At anybody. Like, it's a term of endearment. You know what I mean?
They did with the word cunt what black people do with the N-word.
They do. They really do. They really do.
I love the word cunt. I use it all the time.
But they can drive. Like, they drive way better. Like, the Australian car culture, and I've explained this to people, I'm not going to go into, like, too far into depth with it, but, like, Australians have their own muscle car culture because they had their own like Australian muscle cars in the 70s, 80s, whatever. And then they also are super close to Japan, or closer to Japan than, you know, pretty much anywhere else. So they got raw Japanese cars. Whereas America, we got shitty Japanese cars. Like our Japanese cars are just for efficiency and safety and stuff. Real Japanese sports cars are like badass machines. We didn't fucking get Skylines and like raw Supras, but they got all of that in Australia. And they still had a muscle car scene. So they're just better drivers. They're just better at that. So getting to drive with Australians, I actually got invited to join a drift crew.
Fucking cool.
And I was like, yeah, it was the T2 Deadly drift crew in Australia. And I was like, all right. And I was a member of a drift crew in Australia for a while. And I was like, this is way cooler. If a group of people asked me to join an American drift crew, I'd be like, it's gay. I don't want to do that. That's stupid. I'm not doing that. Bunch of losers. Not joining your stupid club. No. But a group of Australian guys, I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm in. Fuck yeah, put me in. What am I driving? Skyline? Yeah, let's go.
Well, what's cool is Grak. Shout out to Grak. He has his own show, Ghouls Gone Wild. He's not only Australian, but he's a Filipino Australian.
Oh, that's...
So he looks like Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Oh, man.
Like a little bit.
Dude, I would jerk off in the mirror. I would jerk off in the mirror while I watched videos of myself jerking off. If I'd look like The Rock.
So you jerk off to like yourself, but like you'd imagine yourself as the Rock, so it's less egotistical.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know. If I was The Rock, I'd figure out a way to suck it myself. That's all.
Do you think he has any business being back in wrestling?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Because wrestling needs him, and because when you're a professional wrestler and you go through a long run and you take a break, like there's a reason that Stone Cold Steve Austin can still walk.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason that he can still and he did that on purpose. Like he went out when he did, and he made more money than probably Hogan. You know, at one point there was a time where 30 seconds could not pass without a Stone Cold shirt being bought.
Yeah.
Right. Like he experienced that in his lifetime where he made X amount of dollars. Now here's where it comes in. It makes it a little different because of the selling of WWE and all of that, because now the shareholder shit is different. Okay. The Rock is a majority shareholder of the company. The Rock is not a majority shareholder. The Rock has a big share in the company.
He's like the vice president.
He's got a big share. I mean, he's not the majority shareholder, but he's got a big share. So the point in that is there was a time when all the Rock t-shirts that were sold, the Rock got maybe 7% of that. Mm-hmm. So there's, the company's making X amount of dollars. All these people are making money off his stuff. Now, when The Rock comes out and does that and sells his t-shirts, he's getting like all of that.
You know what's crazy about The Rock is his most famous line don't make any sense. Do you smell what The Rock is cooking?
Do you?
Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, what?
And it's not that's Mandela effect.
What's the line?
If you smell, still.
But like, what the fuck does that mean?
Oh,
like, is there a story behind it, or did you just say it like John Cena?
Everything that The Rock said had like very little purpose behind it. It was just cool. But that's what wrestling needed. That's what wrestling needs is shit that doesn't make sense, because dude, it's staged. Chris Jericho had one of my favorite quotes about wrestling, even though, Chris Jericho is not the best person, but who is, but like he had one of my favorite quotes is, if Shakespeare were alive today, he would be writing professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Because it is the most staged, theatrical, physical thing that we have, and Shakespeare stuff was always very physical. So it's beyond the regular stage play. You know what I mean? Shakespeare shit would usually involve several sword fights or hand fights, fist fights that were, meant to be physical.
Well, what's wild is with Stone Cold, going back to Stone Cold, he was one of the few wrestlers, and Mandela effect did rot my brain too.
I've got some good ones for you guys.
So do I. We should do. Are you going to be able to swing by tomorrow, or are you busy? Same time.
Oh no, oh no, I got to work. I got to help out the restaurant front.
I'm just kidding.
No, I'm only there for like 2 nights a week because it keeps me from going crazy.
But we'll do that next week. I'll have to figure out when we're doing Pink Sock next week. But we are going live again tomorrow, just without this guy. With Stone Cold, before music even hit, the second you heard that glass shattered,
that's all you needed.
Buttholes were puckered. And people was like, oh shit.
Dude, that pop. That pop.
You don't even need his music. You just.
You know what the biggest pop in professional wrestling history was?
What?
Chris Jericho.
Oh, when he showed up in 99?
Yeah, when Chris Jericho showed up. I don't know if you know this. And again, this is, only as true as wherever I heard it from. If Chris Jericho hears this, I mean, what's up, bro?
You're more than likely to come on.
Yeah, if Chris Jericho wants to come on and debate me, that would be fucking awesome, because like I'm not going to argue with him, but it'd be cool to talk. But hey, he's Canadian. Anyway, he said whenever he came out for the entrance thing, and he does this, right?
Yeah,
that he'd never done that before. That was never part of his shtick. He knew that everybody was going to lose their fucking shit, and he like couldn't handle it. So he turned away from the crowd, because he knew when the lights and everything came up and everybody lost their shit when they saw him there, he just literally couldn't fucking handle. So he had to fucking turn away from the crowd.
I have a question, and like this is kind of where it lost me. Jericho at that time, when he was in WCW, he was a mid-carder.
Right. Wrong.
I know it's wrong, but like in the line of things.
No, yeah, he was. Yeah. That was dumb.
He shouldn't have been.
No.
But the pop he got in WWF, being a mid-carder in another company,
right?
He was the first person to be a mid-carder in another company,
right?
And get a pop like that.
That's the problem with Goldberg. Okay,
he didn't get a pop.
No, because what even if you would reverse the roles and you brought Goldberg over in '99, all right, he's still not going to get that pop because he's not going to get that pop because they know what's going to follow is going to be fucking hot garbage. Yeah. All right, they knew. Everybody there, everybody watching on TV, which is me. My old ass was watching it fucking live. I was like 15. I remember as soon as we saw Chris Jericho, we knew we were in for a treat. Yeah. We knew what was about to come because we had Chris Jericho standing on the stage and The Rock was in the ring.
Two of the best talkers in the business.
So we literally, it was not just, oh shit, Goldberg might have got a pop, the pop, whatever, but it's not going to be followed by like.
But that's the thing back then that was crazy is the biggest pops was mid-card. Chris Jericho was the first mid-carder that went over and was a huge in WWF. But the Radicals, for God's sakes.
Yeah, whenever they came in. But see, that's the thing, though. For all intents and purposes, they weren't mid-carders in WCW.
Benoit left the world champion.
That's what I'm saying. But like Saturn Note was a mid-carder.
Yeah.
Okay. So they were. It's like they brought buddies with them. You know what I mean? Yeah. WWE knew what they wanted. They knew what they wanted out of that roster. I'm still of a personal belief that the WCW was intentionally sabotaged by Hogan and Bret Hart.
Guys.
Hogan and Bret Hart, I think, are two dudes who intentionally sabotaged WCW.
So the NWO wasn't technically a storyline.
No, because and hear me out. And you know you're going to be like, wow, why would you make Hulk Hogan a heel? Like here's the thing that you need to realize about professional wrestling: heels don't sell merch, right? Now they did. They sold a shitload of NWO shirts. Okay, that's fine. They did. They sold a shitload of NWO shirts. Cool, they did that, right? A resurgence of Hulk Hogan and Hulkamania would have sold way more.
Yeah,
Hulk Hogan Hulk Hogan versus the Giant, like part 2. They could have just like made their own WrestleMania. Well, they could have done.
Their argument was that they were doing the Hulkamania thing at first when he came to WCW. It just wasn't going well.
Well, okay, but if anything, I think they should have done the like shattered hero thing. Yeah. Like, don't let him come in a ball of fire. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's going to have an opinion on like things.
Career though, he was already a legend, so let him do the legend's deed and push others.
But also, if he would have come in and like maybe tried to just like impose himself on whatever champion there was at the time, and then get his ass kicked and take it down a peg and then realize, holy shit, you're not the big dog here, you know? And then you get this like thing where it's like, oh man, we're watching our hero get stomped in the ring. You know what I mean? And you start to feel bad for him, and then you watch him rebuild.
But Hogan wouldn't do that.
But Hogan doesn't have the ego to let himself fall first to be rebuilt. That's why he's never been able to maintain that, because if you look at any of the greats, there was a time where they were like, I'm down today. Yeah, you can take me today, and you can take this title from me if you want. You can have it today. But tomorrow, 6 months from now, you're not going to be able to get it from me because I'm going to be 100% of who I used to be. And then another 10, 20, 30%, you're not going to know until I hit you.
Bro, you just did like a 1998 Terry Funk promo.
Oh, yeah. Dude, yeah. Chainsaw Charlie. Let's go. No, but that's the shit that's missing from professional wrestling is like you want to watch the good guy. You don't just want to watch him win all the time.
No,
and like watching him win all the time is not going to, like, the Lily of the Valley shit, dude. Like, you got to have the dark to understand the fucking light. Well, you got to watch you dude lose.
I know it was NWO at the time, but they were going to try to do that shit. Hi, Vicky. I hope to see you at the show. Sorry, we're nerding out to wrestling.
Yeah.
But NWO, it was NWO at the time, but Hogan was supposed to lose to Sting. That was supposed to be his downfall.
Right.
And then he was supposed to build back up and be like whatever they want him to be. But he refused to lose to Sting.
He didn't. Fairly. It's not going to work for me, brother. Like, he had that about him where he was like, he didn't want to give
allegedly
up the spotlight, even though it was like what was best for business was like to do that. And he knew that. Like, you can't be that far deep into wrestling and not know that story arc is how you're supposed to fucking.
Well, the crazy thing is about Hogan is he wanted to come back at WrestleMania like 38 or some shit. He wanted to come back with Hall and Nash. as the NWO and beat the Shield. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but Hall was not in the best of shape back then.
No. It would have made way
Nash
more
would
sense.
have thrown a fucking hip.
Yeah, and it would have made way more sense to have the NWO come out if you're going to do that,
And lose.
right? And then start talking, and then here comes the Shield, and now the NWO gets to feel what it feels like, the shit they used to do, right? And then they build up to something, and then the NWO comes out, and Sting comes out with them. Like, all right, I hate these fucking guys, but you know what? Enough.
I hate WWE more.
And I hate when it comes out and starts fucking hitting with the bat and shit. You can build a story.
And then after that,
egos get in the way of professional
and
wrestling.
then after that, what would be perfect is after that, dude, lights go out, dong, and then the Undertaker, and you set up the Undertaker and Sting feud.
Yeah,
that's how it should have been when he came in. It should have been him.
And Paul Bearer.
My dad met Paul Bearer in the Undertaker.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That is a character that shouldn't have fucking worked the way it did.
No, but the Undertaker shouldn't work either. Do you know how
that's
dumb
what I'm
that
saying.
is? No, Undertaker, Paul Bearer, none of that should have worked. Think about how dumb the Undertaker as a gimmick, not Paul, or, sorry, not Mark. Mark did an amazing job portraying the character of the Undertaker, which is what made it. That's absolutely what. But the idea that Vince McMahon had, and I could just hear him coming in. He's like, Mark, all right, Mark, listen, here's what we're going to do. You're a fucking dead guy. All right, no, you're going to come out. You're going to look like a mortician, kind of.
We're purple gloves.
We're going to give you a hat. All right. You'll be pale. You're already pale. You'll be paler. How pale can you get? Like, all right, can you roll your eyes in the back of your head? Ah, perfect. Okay. Like, none of it should work. Because
and you're going to be wearing purple boots and gloves.
Yeah, and but it's dumb. But here's the thing. You can give some guys you can give some dudes a garbage can and they'll pull shit out of it and make something that you'll be like, dude, you made this out of garbage, dude? And then other guys, you're like, you made this out of garbage, dude.
You know what other gimmick shouldn't have worked but did? Vince McMahon is like, let's give one of the best wrestlers the ECW ever had. Give him a prosthetic head and just throw him out there and he's talking to it.
Yeah.
And fucking he went out there and he's like, what does everybody want? And he like turned it into a fucking...
Okay, but to be fair though, that was second paled in comparison to the Job Squad. How brilliant, dude.
Right?
They're jobbers. They were there to do the job. Like, you get that, right? They were a stable of jobbers.
There was killing kayfabe.
By the way, slowly killing it softly, baby. Jobbers in the professional wrestling industry, let me terminology for you here. Jobber was somebody that had a job in professional wrestling strictly to put other people over. Putting other people over meant making people look good. So whether they were there to get absolutely squashed or they were there to have a good match, but put somebody over, they were called jobber because they were there to do the job.
And a lot of them became actually
famous
wrestlers.
Yeah, no, a lot of people, because I mean, if you really want to get there, the most famous jobber in the world is Ric Flair.
Shawn Michaels.
And the reason I say that is because he's the 16 or 17 time world champion or whatever, which means that he won the championship 16. It also means he lost the championship 16 times, which means 16 times he put over somebody else.
Can I go another route?
As champion. So, you know what I mean? I know Ric Flair's a creepy motherfucker and everything, but I still, woo! I don't, go ahead.
How about Jerry the King Lawler? He won and lost the Memphis Championship 80-something times.
Right. He invented, I don't know if you ever heard of Bizarro Land, like whenever it comes to wrestling or, something along those lines. But he basically inadvertently was a heel, but the crowd loved him so much that he would come out and he would be cussing them, spitting at him, trying his best, and they would still just be cheering him. They loved him so much just because of the way he wrestled and the way he acted. They he said the F word in promos like a lot, and not fuck. I can say that word.
He did.
He did, dude. He would. He would call the other guy. He'd just be straight up with him, be like, I don't know what these tights you're wearing are. Boom. ... And it's like, dude, all right. It's Memphis, though.
Yeah.
So, like.
They don't like gay people in Memphis.
No, yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of weird that they're showing up to and I'm not trying to brag on people, but they're showing up to the gayest sport ever.
It's super gay. No. I am fully aware. I'm fully aware Like, but when you're in it, there's nothing gay about it because it is very physical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But when you watch
Like, I've literally gotten a boner 0 times while wrestling.
how many times have you gotten it while watching it?
No, I don't. Like, it doesn't, like, not, like, even when chicks wrestle, it's like, I don't know. I know, like, I've been in a wrestling locker room. Nobody's gear smells good.
Did you ever hear the stories of, like, Andre the Giant purposely farting on wrestlers?
Dude, he would shit on the beds in his hotel room because he couldn't fit on the toilet. And he was so big. This is true. He's so big that he would absolutely destroy hotel toilets. So he would literally just lay out a bunch of fucking newspaper on the bed and just fucking drop a bear shit right on the bed. No, I'm not kidding. He, like, Hulk Hogan came, like, to his room one day, and, like, he, like, met him at the door of his room, and Andre was like, "Hey, Hulk, look."
Oh.
And Hulk Hogan looked in the room, and there's just this fucking mound of shit on the bed. And he was like, "Ha ha 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 ha."
Who's gonna stop him?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? He just fucking pie face you with all of his hands.
I saw this interview with somebody talking about Andre. They're like, Andre the Giant was doing a match, and it was with somebody he didn't like. And that's the worst thing you can have is a match with Andre, and he didn't like you.
Dude, you meant just a chop? Just one chop?
He laid on this guy for the pin.
They shit on him.
In a 69 position and shit on his face.
They shit all over him. And it was an Andre shit. So, like the biggest dude in the world. Like, I mean, if somebody shits on you, it sucks. Yeah, it's not worth writing home about. You know what I mean? Nobody's like, I was playing football with Brad, tackled him too hard, got some shit on my shirt. Like, nobody cares. But if you're like, a one time, Andre the Giant held me down and shit all over my face and head. Like, that's something you tell to a therapist because you're like, well, when did your problems not being able to sleep start? You're like, I keep having the same nightmare.
So speaking of shit, tell me it's a good idea or tell me it's a bad idea. There's a guy that I found on YouTube.
Bad idea.
He has a YouTube series.
Okay.
He was, I believe, a stagehand. I know he was really close friends with him. He was really close friends with Gigi Allen.
Oh.
Now, I don't know if you know who Gigi Allen is. I've talked about him a lot on the show. You know,
say no. Oh, God.
I know.
Gigi Allen is the worst.
Yeah, this guy's friends with him.
Okay.
He's on YouTube and he's telling stories about, like, Gigi. Should I have him on the show?
I mean,
yes.
Yeah.
But the stories he has, though, isn't like he was backstage through most of his performances.
Right.
Like he knew Gigi as the man.
Honestly, I mean, getting anybody who knows, you know, cool shit that like can say stuff that people can be like, oh, dude, I'd like to hear that story. Like, am I a Gigi Allen fan? I don't know. I'm not a fucking psychopath, no. But like, would I appreciate some stories from shit? Yeah, dude. I mean, dude, he's, you know.
I saw CKY last night.
That's word.
They closed with "Bite It, You Scum" by Gigi Allen and the Murder Junkies.
Okay.
Because they're like, nobody knows anything about Gigi Allen. I'm like,
I know that Gigi Allen has, according to Rolling Stone, the most rock and roll death of all time. That's what I know. I had, like, back in my day, we had these things called magazines. And one of them was fucking Rolling Stone. And I'm reading Rolling Stone, and he had, like, the 10 most rock and roll deaths of all time.
Yeah.
And Gigi Allen is number one.
It was on VHS.
And honestly, like, you don't, when you read about Gigi Allen dying and like how, and you're like, okay, that's definitely the most rock and roll death of all time. Also, I'm scarred from reading it.
Did you know they filmed his funeral and he didn't get embalmed?
Yeah, they took him out. They took him out and were shoving cocaine and fucking whiskey and shit down his throat. They took him out of the coffin.
And it's on
what?
VHS.
I know, I'm aware. It's dude. No, it's Like, not only did he die the most, he was like walking around like at one point
New York in a Speedo.
But at one point they said he was like he was bleeding and shit. At one point they said he was like he had to have been clinically dead for like
12.
Yeah, for a while, but still kind of walking around or something weird.
Okay.
Like his heart rate was so low because of all the drugs he was on that like it's very weird that he was walking around. He passed out because he was like dead.
Oh, my blood sugar's been so high that they were like, "This is impossible."
Doctors don't know.
No, doctors don't know shit.
But the thing with Gigi though is
Yeah.
he's in New York, right? Because they shut the sound off on his show, and he like started destroying the bar and he left. Now that's not the way he wanted to go. He actually said in interviews the way he wanted to go, and it was 10 times worse. He wanted to hang himself on stage, bro, and like or shoot himself. Like he wanted to go out, going out, like his own terms, like. See ya. I got no other shows. See ya.
So what did he die from?
He was really fucked up at a show, and he used to perform in a Speedo or naked. And then he ate a bunch of laxatives, and he'd shit on stage.
Yeah.
So
Throw it at people.
and throw it at people.
Don't forget about throwing it at people.
Well, 2 songs in or 1 song and whatever, they shut the power. So he destroyed the bar and left, and he was walking the streets of New York covered in shit, wearing a jacket and a Speedo, and that's it.
He was also very high on heroin.
Very high on heroin.
Yes, don't forget about the heroin.
Well, he went to a party and they all hung out and partied. Now they partied with Gigi, but Gigi wasn't alive no more. They were still hanging out and partying with fucking Gigi Allen while he was dead, like fucking dead. Well, 12 hours later, 13 hours later, 14 hours later, his brother was like, maybe we should like
Go tell somebody because I don't think he's gonna get back up.
I don't think he's getting back up. So they turned around and found out he had been dead for a while. And instead of having a funeral, they had one, but they put him in a casket without embalming or whatever. So he's all bloated and shit and covered in shit. And they filmed it. And they had a bottle of Jack in his hand and shit. And they filmed his funeral, open casket.
They were shoving cocaine and whiskey and shit. Yeah, dude, it's a trip. It's a trip. Like, not
That's
all
crazy.
musicians are good.
And
you
I
know?
think his brother sold VHS tapes of his funeral.
Probably. I mean, you got to make some money.
The Murder Junkies are still around, by the way. The band that performed with Gigi.
Right.
It's his brother keeping it alive, but it's weird to watch now. Like, it was weird to watch then, a grown man running around naked. But it's even grosser now watching 60-year-old men
Right.
or 70-year-old men.
There was a region Gigi was going to hang himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't want to be doing that shit.
No,
That's like watching Burt Kreischer in his 50s not
I
wearing a shirt.
will. I will watch Bert in his 50s. Bert's close. He's like,
He's
he
close.
looks
He's in
close.
40s
He's
now.
fine. He looks great. Bert looks better now than he has.
He's been working out.
No, Bert looks great. When I hang out with Bert, he's always fucking wanting to work out.
You've hung out with Burt.
Don't look into it, bro. I manifest, dude. I don't lie. I manifest.
I think that's a form of lying.
Bert and I go to fucking Grateful Dead shows and shit. It's great.
We need to get him
That's
on the
not
show.
that's not a form of lying. That's faking it till you make it, brother. Listen. If you believe that I hang out with Bert Kreischer, like if you genuinely believe it, all right. Einstein left some clues. Einstein is one of the people I believe is probably one of the smartest people without having any kind of real recourse or anything to gain from it. He just left some tidbits and some clues. One of the things that he said was, if you create a frequency in this reality, the universe has no choice but to adhere. So that's how I believe that manifestation works. Is you don't think something, you don't believe something, you know something.
See, I believe
And when
in-
you know something, the universe adheres to that thing that you know and conspires to make it true as quickly and as efficiently and as flowing like a river as possible.
I believe that. Like, I believe in manifestation, but I also believe that Einstein did a lot of mushrooms.
So do I.
Yeah.
I have some if you want to try some.
No, I have to drive home.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But-
You don't have to. I got a place to sleep.
Yeah, but you've been weird all day.
I know, right? But you see how I get at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got fucking Diddy over here.
Ew.
Oh, no, wait.
Ew. Ew. Come on.
Yeah,
I will say one thing. Why did these guys, why did P. Diddy and R. Kelly and like Jay-Z, why they all name themselves like they were already on a fucking list?
right?
That's weird, right?
Like, his name is literally the Diddler.
I mean, that sounds like, if I can be real, though, that sounds like one of the McDonald's characters from like back in the day.
The Diddler.
Like you got Ronald McDonald, you got the Hamburglar, you got Grimace, you got the Diddler, you got the Nugget Kids, McNugget Kids.
Oh, by the way, I did have an announcement for today's podcast.
All right.
Not this Thursday, but next Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Gemini Syndrome coming on the podcast.
That's dope.
No, Gemini Syndrome. Dope is the other band.
Oh, that
Gemini Syndrome. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Gemini Syndrome. We're having Aaron Nordstrom on. He's the singer of Gemini Syndrome.
okay. Didn't I meet him last time?
No,
Different guy?
different
You
guy.
know a lot of musicians, man. You're cool.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool. That's pretty rad.
Yeah, I'm also going to have, we are working on it right now. I'm working on having Brandon on. He is the singer of Crowbot.
That's dope. Crowbot. Oh, like from fucking Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah, but the
Is
band.
that right? Yeah, no, that's awesome. I just take the reference.
Yeah.
Crow.
They're really good. Go check them out.
I will. I think I did. Because wasn't he on the last one?
I don't know.
No.
I haven't watched the recent shit.
The last one we did. Where can we watch it? Where do I watch it? I want to watch the podcast we did last time.
That wasn't him, no.
No. Okay. Well, I'm just wondering, like, where would I watch that, though?
YouTube.
Is it on YouTube?
Pink Sock Podcast is on YouTube and Facebook. You can actually go to usenik.com. Like, if you don't use Nick, you'll lose Nick, which is my last name.
That's nice. I like that.
Usenik.
Yeah, dude.
And then you just go to my website, and it has, like, the YouTube link and everything.
That's good. That's easy to remember. I like that.
Yeah, it used to be allmylinks.com/official Mike Usenik, which is harder to remember.
That's a little tougher, but I like the if you don't use Nick, you'll lose Nick.
I have
like
shirts if you want one.
That's good. Dude, I'll fucking rock your shirt. I'll rock your shirt on stage. Fuck yeah.
I actually have a shirt that says if you don't use Nick, you'll lose Nick. And I have another shirt that says I can rock, but I can't roll, and it has a pot leaf on it and 2 metal horns.
It's like
I can't roll joint.
Because like, see, I do that's I'll teach you. Like I want to do that thing that like I've always been impressed with, like awesome indie musicians, awesome independent wrestlers, and awesome, like I want to be that comedian who wears other comedians' shirts. Like I don't ever want to wear my own shirt, and I don't want to wear, like, don't get me wrong, like, I love Bert, but I don't want to wear like one of Bert's shirt. Like Bert doesn't need my help.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to wear one of Bert's shirts on like shit, but like I want to wear your shirt like on stream or like on fucking on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Like anybody else that like I know, like if there's any other comedians I know, I'll buy your fucking shirt. Like I don't expect you to give it to me.
I believe our shirts
like,
are $20.
Like I'll buy your shirt. I'm not buying your shirt. You know,
I'll give you.
I know. I'll give you some pins.
Jules Wells makes them. She's amazing. She's the love of Jag the Apostle of Council, who's a good friend of mine too. I know a lot of local musicians.
I'm gonna draw some pink sock shit. Like I'm gonna draw a pink sock hand puppet.
Okay, whatever you want to make, bro.
I think that'd be fun. Pink sock.
I know a lot of local musicians and shit too. By the way, I am actually working on getting my buddy Ryan back on.
All right.
He plays guitar for Alice Cooper, and he also played guitar for Slash's Snake Pit. I don't know if you're familiar with Slash's Snake Pit, but when Guns N' Roses broke up, he formed Slash's Snake Pit.
Dude, I do remember that.
Ryan played on, I think, their second album.
That's awesome. Dude, I do remember that. Did you ever hear the story of Slash's hat?
Yeah, he stole it.
Yeah, he stole it when he got to LA, and then it just kind of stuck.
And the studded design is actually a belt that he stole too.
I didn't know that. Okay, that makes sense though. That's word.
Yeah, it's an old belt, and he just put it on the hat to make it the design.
That's word.
So he stole both from the thrift shop and made his own.
Yeah.
And that's fucking.
Do you think if he didn't have your hair that it wouldn't have worked? Like, do you think if he just had a buzz cut, people would have been like, "You fucking thief"?
Yeah.
Like nobody would have cared at all. But like, the hat's stupid, dude.
Yeah, they wouldn't care because if he had a buzz cut, you don't have the cool hair to come out.
Not only that, but like he stole the hat, so it probably didn't fit. Like his hair made it fit. Like, you know what I mean? Like if he'd have cut his hair, the hat would have just fallen over his head like a fucking kid.
Do you think Slash would have made it as big as he did if he had a mullet?
What, dude? No. Okay. All right. No, hear me out. What if he was like indecision time and it was like that awesome top hat or like a fedora? You know? he was like, I'm going this way, but like in an alternate universe, he put on the fedora and like joined a fucking shitty ska band.
And he's on stage with a big ass fro but with like a little fucking fedora.
Shitty ska band named Running Gozes.
Did you know how Guns N' Roses started?
I bet it had cocaine.
It did. No, Slash was not the original guitarist.
Okay.
The way the band started was Axl Rose. Do you know this story, Pink? Axl Rose was the singer of a band called Hollywood Rose. He became friends with Tracy Guns, who was the guitarist of LA Guns. They decided to combine the two and make a supergroup, Guns N' Roses. Tracy Guns decided, I don't like this asshole Axl after a year. He left and reformed LA Guns. I don't know if that's a true story, by the way.
It's true. It's 100% true. Don't Google it. Don't be a dick about it and Google it.
But Tracy left, and he was replaced by Slash. that the story of the two bands coming together is true, but the reason why he left is
okay.
Who knows?
Do you know what the greatest cover or the greatest super band of all time, one of the first super bands ever? You probably haven't heard of them. If you have, well, you're probably lying. But like, you know what the first like super group was? They didn't make it. It was a band called Dirty Mac. Okay,
the name.
And Dirty Mac consisted of John Lennon, Eric Clapton, the bass player. The bass player was Keith Richards. Like,
why do you put that fucker on bass?
Right, because dude, think about it. If your bass player is one of the best guitar players in the world,
Be amazing.
he's going to be easily one of the best bass players in the world. No problem. And I'm sure, like, not to demean bass players. No, fuck it. I don't give a shit. Bass players just wag their tail against the fucking thing and make a rhythm. Except for Les Claypool.
That's what I was going to say.
I know. That man's different. He treats but he disrespects a bass guitar, all right? He doesn't play it. Les Claypool doesn't play. He fucking... Anyway. No.
Victor Wooten's another good one.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I like the Woot. There's a lot of great bass players. But no. So, okay.
But not Nikki Sixx.
So there's this video. If you guys want to look this video up, if you guys are watching this video, if you guys are watching the podcast, you want to check this video out after or whatever. There's a show that they did in a circus tent outside of London in like 1969, and everybody there is dosed up on acid. Everybody, the crowd, and it's the Rolling Stones, the Who, Dirty Mac, dude, a couple other bands, but it's goddamn, dude. There's one. See, again, pull up the video. Like, I wish we could do that.
I've heard of the band because I was big into music, but I never saw the.
Well, they only performed this one time, and I think one other time or whatever. My friend that showed it to me. And they do like a song that like John Lennon had done before, but goddamn, the guitar work is just so fucking spot on, and everybody's tripping, so everybody's feeling it. And like, there's also clips from, or like, there's videos from that event where like the Rolling Stones are playing, and dude. I've tripped on that. I've tripped on LSD like a lot. 1969 raw LSD 25 that these dudes were eating in a fucking circus tent in London was probably some fucking. And watching Mick Jagger sing songs that he's sung thousands of times, but just speaking into
like
another
butcher it
while he's doing it. He's fucking leaning in the camera going, "You can't always get what you want, honey." And I'm like, that dude's fucking tripping. His fucking eyes are this big. And yeah, dude, everybody is fucking, it's a great show. Like, it's an awesome performance. And it's just one of those things, if you didn't know how to look for, it's like an island on the internet. If you didn't know where to already find it, like if somebody didn't tell you about it, you'd probably never see it. But yeah, if you look up Dirty Mac, it pops up.
I think they have a Wikipedia page.
Yeah, like I said, they were a band, but they like formed right before John Lennon got fucking smushed by a big ant or something. I don't know what happened to him.
He got shot.
Did he?
Yeah. He got shot by a fan, actually. The guy got his autograph long after.
Was he a fan though?
I don't know.
That doesn't sound like fan.
But John was leaving, as far as I know, he was going to or leaving his hotel.
Yeah, I think he was leaving. Yeah, and he was leaving because he signed the thing and then he turned away and walked away from the guy.
And then the guy shot.
The guy shot him in the back, and then I think he lived because he got shot in the kidney. So I think he lived like initially. Again, I don't know.
And Yoko was dragging him and shit.
Yeah.
I think he was aiming for Yoko. He's like, "This is what you get for."
That's honestly, dude. Have you ever heard her sing?
Yeah.
Okay. There's two songs that Dirty Mac do in that fucking circus tent. One of them is amazing. I mean, it's a little like off your selfie, but like, yeah, it's bluesy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The second one, Yoko Ono makes noise with it, and it's like she was definitely ruining everybody's trip.
See, like, I'm big into like music is objective.
No, dude.
But not that.
Not this. Not this. Like, music is subjective, but sometimes I will hear some of these jam bands because I love jamming. Like, I like the Grateful Dead and stuff, but sometimes I'll hear like something Fish does, and I'll be like, I don't like that. And someone's like, why don't you like it? It's like, because I could do that. I have zero musical ability. They're just that was the shit I did. You ever have a little keyboard when you were a kid? You got no musical talent. You're like, hey mom, listen to this, and she's like, okay.
I'm actually relearning how to play piano right now.
Sorry.
and my mom is turning 70 in June. So I was gonna play happy birthday for her.
Oh,
That's beautiful.
Yeah. And I have a little like I'll show it to you. It's a foldable keyboard. So it's like it folds in half
Finger
and
dance.
then
that's fucking cool.
you can snap it.
Is that something they only have in Canada? What the fuck?
I don't know.
I've never seen that over here in the States.
I want a guitar.
What is
So yeah, so I can like throw it in a backpack.
really strings plays on that? Oh no, because you can just put it in a bag and carry it around with you, dude. That's great.
Yeah.
Love that shit.
I got a massage table that's like that. It's not that small, but I can carry it around with me. It's for massaging little people.
Oh, nice.
That just made you sound creepy.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. What's creepier? I massage little people or I oil up midgets? It's the same thing, dude. It's all about how you twist it.
All right, with that being said, we're at the hour and 30-minute mark. I think we're going to cut this off.
All right, I'm good. I'm good to go. You want to end it with that?
Well, thank you for having me, guys.
Hey, Pink, I'll see you tomorrow, right?
Yep.
All right.
Same time?
He's going to be on more often.
I'll be on a lot, yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, I like it.
It's a lot of fun. We're going to have musical guests coming on in the future. We've had musical guests in the past. I do plan on getting local comedians on more often, too.
Oh, I got a couple friends I can have on here, like Lawton. Lawton would definitely like to come and do it, I'm sure.
Brad
I
Jones
can look
was
Blind James.
really
He's blind.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Colton.
If he can find his computer.
Oh, he knows where it's at.
I'm just kidding.
He knows where it's at. We were in Pittsburgh one time, and like he's blind for sure. He's definitely legally blind. His vision is slowly going to fade all the way to completely blind, but he can see a little bit, right? And we were in Pittsburgh at Cantu's, like it's a private comedy club, and we're upstairs, and Cantu's got this little dog that runs around, and the dog goes to walk by the blind, and he like reaches out with his blind stick and just gives the dog a little nudge, you know? And the dude behind me goes, he can fucking see.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be like, a little bit, dude. Like, he knew there was a dog there.
Back to the spectrum. There's a spectrum.
For sure. Like, can you see shadows? Like, can you see like blurry, very blurry versions of what's going on? Like, I think with him, one eye he can see. Because when I see him, like, he'll look at it. Let me see your phone. He'll look at his phone. Sorry, please.
I saw him text.
He'll look at his phone and he'll do like this, and so I think he can see with one eye up close to like text and stuff.
I'm like that.
But I think he can like see around. You know what I mean? And it makes me feel better because I love the kid. You know what I mean? But it does suck that like his vision's not going to get better. You know what I mean? Like he's definitely
makes
blind.
the best out of it.
He does, and he makes jokes. Like I pitched a joke to him because like, he's the only person that I've really like pitched jokes to. Because like, and here's why. Like, and I've explained this to him. I'm like, sorry if I ever step on your toes, brother, for pitching jokes to you. I know a lot of comedians don't like it, but I sometimes think of jokes that I think would be really funny to tell if I were blind. And I'm not, so I'm not going to tell those jokes. But I feel, I would feel better about myself. I at least told you about these jokes. Like one, I'd like to know if I'm a terrible person. If you're like Jack, you probably shouldn't think about shit like that. And two, if you want to use these jokes, fucking go for it, dude. Like I want to tell him one time about talking about like loyalty, about how he can't keep a girlfriend, about there's no more loyalty in the world, and then like start talking about how loyal his seeing eye dog is, and then be like, Rexy here's always by my side, my seeing eye dog. And he pulls out a dog biscuit, and he's like, I can always count on this dog to be by my side, no matter what. Is there a German Shepherd beside me right now? Fuck.
You know what would be funnier?
And just drop the dog biscuit and be like,
you know what would be funnier if you had a pet cat?
I mean, you can take a like service cat around with you. I think a cat would do it. I just don't think they would. I don't think they
could. But the joke would be like, I brought my seeing eye dog, and it's a cat.
Yeah, but then you got to take a cat with you everywhere. Cats suck. To travel with.
Yeah,
that's not
because they don't shit outside.
That's not a traveling animal.
They shit in the box.
People who take cats around with them, don't do that. People are like, oh, he likes
Right.
it. No, he doesn't.
Stress it the fuck out.
Dude, cats don't like that.
There's vegan cats.
You ever seen a tiger that's like, I like riding this train, Mr. Conductor that takes us around from zoo to zoo. My favorite part's riding on the train. No, it's not. No, it's not. Can you imagine that
If
life?
you talk about trains a lot, you like home.
Dude, I love trains.
What kind though?
I want to say
Future ones.
because I love you, dude, and I don't know. But it's like the invasive thought. It's like, ask mom, dude. I don't want to do that, bro. I like my friend.
That's the comedy in you.
Yeah, like it wants to just be like, say it, fucking say it. Ask your mom, dude. Like,
My mom's alive. And she's,
okay, cool. Thank God.
she's a good person.
She's a good person. She's cool. My mom. And you know what? I've honestly, I've had this conversation. Let me clarify this. Bros, guys, friends, dudes, when we talk about each other's moms and other people outside here is talk, there's our mom that's like, my mom's Beth. She gave birth to me. Like, watch your fucking tone. And then there's like that fictional mom we all have.
Yeah, that's what I do when I do comedy.
That you can joke with. Like when I say, ask your mom, I'm not talking about your mom's beautiful. Your mom's a lovely person. Sweetheart. She's fucking saying, right? It's mom. That's not your mom I'm talking about. I'm talking about like the character that you are.
That's the thing people don't realize about comics.
Who would play your mom?
Who'd play my mom?
When I say ask your mom, who plays that woman? Who plays the woman that I'm talking about, like in Trains?
Like,
you know what I mean?
Like 1980s Betty White.
Oh, that's good. I would fucking wreck Betty White. Betty fucking right, buddy.
I would have done like 99-year-old Betty White.
Dude, I would at any point. Not at any point in her life. Like
not now.
No. not now. And like there's an 18-year chunk where I wouldn't have done anything with Betty White. I wouldn't have done anything with Betty White. Like it was the 30s.
She was a little
it was the 20s or 30s. Yeah, when she was a little. No. When she was no. At any point in time, like season 1 through 8 of Golden Girls, preferably.
What about all the seasons of Mama's Family?
She was a bitch though. Like it's hard to get hard to Betty White being hard.
Did you ever watch Lake Placid Betty White?
Dude, that Betty White. Oh, she was fucking killing cows.
If I had a dick, that's where I'd tell you to suck it.
Oh man, that's great. And I feel like she got that line from the Norm Macdonald thing that Norm Macdonald said. Like I feel like she found it so funny that she figured out a way to kind of work it into that, because you know where Norm Macdonald talked about B. Arthur's dick.
Yeah.
Right? And then she's like, you got me, you prick. I feel like that was her kind of, if I had a dick, I'd tell you so.
Yeah.
Deal. Like, I feel like she kind of got
B.
that.
Arthur, I heard, didn't get along at all.
It wouldn't surprise me, because I don't think B. Arthur was a very agreeable person. She never came across, I never saw B. Like even in Maude, she was kind of a curmudgeon. And then in
well, you know why Golden Girls quit doing their thing, right?
I mean,
the show quit going, and then they came out with Golden Palace.
I remember that Golden Palace.
Knockoff,
Yeah.
But B. Arthur had nothing to do with it. She was only in 1 or 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Because she didn't get along with anyone else.
No. Well, that makes sense, because if I could be real with you though, they relied on her pretty heavily.
Yeah.
For like the comedic relief a lot.
Yeah. Well, she was the comedian of the group.
Right. Legit comedian. Yeah. Everybody else was just an actor, or Betty White, I think, was she was just good on game shows. Like that's what she was before she girls really like. I mean,
she was just a personality.
Yeah, that too. And she was also on a lot of movies and shows with what was her name?
Rue McClanahan.
That chick that did Mama's Family. Vicki Lawrence.
Vicki Lawrence, yes.
And then you had the woman that made them all famous.
Carol Burnett.
Carol Burnett.
Yes. Yes, one of the funniest women to ever live.
Yes. And so was Joan Rivers.
Yeah, she did have such a great sense of humor.
Yeah, legendary.
So subtle,
Legendary.
That's why when people are like, women aren't funny, I was like, no, if you know who Gilda Radner is, that's, Gilda. You have her hair.
Yeah. What was her name? Phyllis Diller.
Phyllis Diller was funny. Dude, you know who's actually I think she might still be alive. Fuck. Why am I, dude? I hate when I can't remember someone's name. She was in she was in Beer Fest. She was the grandma in Beer Fest. Oh, it's too bad that when I get a little sausage in me.
Fuck, I forget her name.
Right? Cloris Leachman.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, she's funny over so many decades that like you don't even realize she was in fucking Young Frankenstein. Yeah, and she's hilarious in Young Frankenstein, and then she's also in fucking Beer Fest.
You know,
she's in that show. She was in a show, Raising Hope.
You know, also hilarious, very underrated, hilarious. Was I forget her name, but she played in Grandma's Boy, and she played in Everybody Loves Raymond. She always played the mother figure.
Yeah, I don't know her name.
The grandma.
Yeah. But yeah, super, super funny.
Yeah.
Dude, the scene where she scares the shit out of him.
Yeah.
The ghost.
Yeah.
Don't cuss. You're better than that. Jesus Christ.
We're drink your tea. The one that you
love. Yeah. I can hear my hair growing. Dude. That was so fucking good. That movie is fucking legendary front to back.
But I'll be posting soon when we're going live after Wednesday, so you're more than welcome to join us.
Yeah, definitely. I might actually, now that I think about it, I might actually be done in time because I get done at like 7.
Well, we're still live, bro. We go live at 9.
That's what I'm saying. I'm done at like 7:30, and it's not like I got.
You're that form of autistic where you're like, I have plans, so I can't do anything before or after.
Yeah,
I do that shit.
Yeah,
I'll be like, I work at 3, so I got to stay home and sit around and do nothing until 1.
Yeah,
and then I hate that I didn't do anything all day
because 1 is almost 2, and 2 is almost 3, so I've got to be ready already.
Yeah,
because I want to be late.
But like, I do sit there and work on the podcast stuff, but I don't leave the house and do the shit outside of us because. What if my car breaks down? What if this happens?
What if something happens where you can't control the situation? Yeah.
But guys, that was Pink Sock Podcast. Go to usenick.com. Give us a subscribe, a follow. If you're watching this already, you're already watching us. Give this guy a follow. And like, do you have a website or anything that we can find you on?
I'm on Instagram, Jack Rife Comedy. I'm on Facebook, Jack Rife Comedy. I need to get better at social media.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
So do I.
I need help.
We need to get social media managers.
That's what I'm saying. We just need to get managers.
Because the thing is, I can focus on this shit in my comedy, or I can focus on social media. I can't do both.
See, that's the thing with my art. Because I do artwork. You saw what I do, right?
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't want to say I'm great at drawing. That's the part I thrive at. I love to draw. I love to come up with ideas. I love to come up with cool crossover shit like that. Shipping, dude, I suck.
Yeah.
I got shit I need to ship right now.
Isn't it the anxiety?
I don't know what it is. I really don't because I have everything I need to ship.
I hate going to the post office.
I hate going places where there's people.
And honestly, like I have a label printer, so like I could just print labels and put it in the mailbox, right? But there's just so much that goes into having a subscription to a fucking thing. I got to pay 50 for one, 20 for another, and then I got to buy labels. I got to print the labels. I just want to draw, dude.
So you're like me in a sense of like you hate hate being an adult in a way because you're like, oh, fucking responsibility. I don't want to leave the house.
See,
but
I like doing something that like the kid in me enjoys. You know what I mean? Like drawing and doing comedy. Like I like doing shit that like, you know, fuels the kid within me.
Yeah.
Because I never want to lose that. That's why I think I still look young.
In a way, yeah. Kinda.
I do. I look younger without my glasses. Hey, you look younger without my glasses too.
I look younger without pants on.
That's probably not true. There's a lot of fur, bro. I don't think you're gonna look younger without your. I think you're gonna look your age. Maybe a little.
Just with a baby dick.
Just maybe. Maybe a little hairier. I don't know.
Hey, Pink, thank you for doing this with us each and every week. You didn't get to.
No, thanks for putting up with me. I appreciate you.
Much love, guys.
No problem. You're awesome.
Live long, rock hard, guys, and we will be doing this again tomorrow. Much love, y'all.